You ever wonder what it's like to whittle a comfort bird? Well, we did a bigger version, but who doesn't love a mini? Let's go see if we can figure this out. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, so did you guys know that you can support me for not spending a cent by hitting the like button, subscribing, and sharing my videos? It doesn't cost you a cent. It does helps the algorithm see me a whole lot more, and it's totally free for you. It just takes 3 clicks. Just wanted to throw that out there. Thanks. Bye. Alright, folks. Sorry I got distracted with one of the YouTube channels I watch. I might have it going in the background. Let's back this up even more. There we go. Now it's easier to see. So, I don't know if I've actually ever covered this, but one of the tricks I use when I'm marking centers is put the pencil about in the middle. Then I just hold it like that, and I use this finger to guide where I'm marking. I should do a video just on little tricks like this. Just how to mark a straight line. Because then if you got an angle or something you need to hold, you can do that and it'll actually hold the angle if it's cut into the wood. Just one of those little carpentry tricks I actually picked up from Adam Savage's channel, which is tested. But yeah, I mean, this is just a rough idea of where I need to be, but yeah, stays pretty much in the center. I need my tape measure. So, and I know this is thrilling to watch, but whenever I'm doing this, I need to be able to actually see over my camera. That helps a lot. So we need a 1/2 inch, a 1 inch, and an 1.5 inch mark. Now, so we've got those marks. We're just gonna do 3 sides of that. Alright. I don't need anything on the bottom here, so for this we are going to, some people might think this is a bit ridiculous, but what I like to do here is mark out about a 1/4 inch So we'll put a mark here and a mark there. And this is just an interest to keep everything even. We want that. And then we just connect the dots. You just come there. We want this fairly straight. Don't mind my sump pump. And any leftover marks will be cut out, so it's not always going to be the prettiest thing when I'm roughing these out. Alright, now I want to get a rough shape of a bird here. And I want a good 1/4 inch on the back here. That looks like about a 1/4. And then from here, I want to leave a flat spot there. So we're actually just going to come up through there, and there's our bird profile. Might not be the prettiest thing ever. I don't claim to be the best artist on the planet. I really should have trimmed my nails before I made this video, so anybody that makes comments, yeah, I agree. I need to cut my nails. Because I just got a good look at how nasty they look after work today. I wasn't thinking when I came down here. So, there it is. So we just come down. I got an angle to the front of the beak. Sorry, let me move this camera a little bit. Alright. So you can see I've got, sorry, I'm trying to get the right angle. Alright, so you can see how I've already got that angle pretty much matching where I got the beak cut. So from here, I just need to bring this down level with the beak. A little bit more it needs to come off. And all I'm doing is pressing in and curving out at the same time to get this effect. With basswood, it's a lot easier. Highly recommended, especially if you're beginning. It's a very nice, soft, supple wood. Alright. We gotta get... Yeah, there's that. And now we're going to get the bottom of his beak. And that's where I come in at, again, a little bit of an angle. Alright, there's that. Now, I never try to put this on the other side because I'll never keep it parallel. So I'll try to keep this a little bit, or it won't be quite as level, but and there we go. So I can, just another way to confirm that I'm actually keeping everything nice and straight and level, because the better job I do right now, the easier it is later on. So, alright. We got that. Now we're just gonna try to get this little edge off it here. My dog just heard something to bark at. I waited till the thunderstorms were over to do this today, so I didn't want to have to yell over thunder and lightning. Which it actually ended up not being that bad. Was when I was outside at work all day, but hey. Is it ever fun to get rained on? Now I just want to keep this as flat as possible and just bring, I need all of this wood from these lines. I just need to get it out. This is really not looking too good. And I'm not referring to the project, I'm referring to the video portion. I'm going to try a different angle. Alright, I think my sump pump's finally done. I did make a few more cuts, nothing major, but yeah, so this is now nice and smooth. Because once you get to a point where everything looks good, then you're just Doing everything by feel, just making sure there's no sharp edges. Alright, now we just need to straighten this up a little bit. But, yep, so you just, this side looks pretty flat compared to that. So I want to put a little bit more of an angle there. And then just work at getting that nice consistent angle all the way across. Alright. Still need a little bit more right off through here. Alright. There's that. So there's our rough shape. For this particular one, I'm not going to worry about adding wings. So we're just going to go right to the beak. This is why I wanted those original 1/2 inch marks, because it tells me where to just lay my blade. And then you just want to center this blade, center the beak as much as you can. It's not perfect, but that looks pretty doggone good. I got a nice sharp point there. The next thing I want to do is bring the sides in a little bit for the tail. So I'm going to bring it in about 3/16 of an inch. Sorry about that. Nah, I like 1/8 better after actually looking at it. So I'm just gonna, because I marked that as 1/16 because I'm sleepy. Alright, so the 2 long marks there is where we're going to take this into. So I'm just going to do I'm just going to cut straight in till I hit my mark. Then I want this fairly square. So I just put a small indentation right there. I just put it all the way across now so I can line my knife up. And then just press in. Alright, this one, it's got a little bit more to match it. Then I'm going to go from this back 1/2 inch mark just right into where that meets up. I'm not going to come quite back that far from here. That way I have just a little bit of an indentation. We're going to do the same from this side. Because what I'm doing is actually put a stop cut in there so my blade won't go deeper than it should. And now I just kind of want to even this up as good as I can. Actually need to go a little bit deeper in here. Alright. There's our tail. Again, it's not perfect, but I'm still figuring out this pattern, trying to get everything perfected. But so far where everything, like for this, it feels nice and smooth. And now it's just a matter of shaping the head and getting rid of all the flat spots. So for the head, I want to come over right about in here. I'm just going to score this with my knife real light, then flip it around and actually press in. I score the line first, that way I can make sure everything's where I need it to be. It looks fairly even, so that's why we're just going to press all that in there. And now we're just going to come through here and knock off the corners. And now I want to actually dig into that wood a little bit. And we are going to remove that because I want to look. That way the very top of his head is a little bit more pronounced. And then what I'm going to do to make this other side a little bit easier is I'm just going to cut this. We're going to get a little bit more wood off here before I try doing anything too much crazy into this. I want my old faithful flex cut for this part because I know I can control this. And now I'm just going to cut and use that score mark as a stop cut in order just to pull that out. Sometimes a shorter blade makes life easier doing stuff like that. And now just for the very top of his head, I don't want it quite that long. So I'm just going to take it off there. And now we just round. And for that, I'm just going to switch to an OCC. And I'm just going to go to town. If you're just learning, make sure you're using a longer blank for this so you got more to hang on to. And make sure you're always aware where that blade's at. I lose track of it sometimes, and every time I have, that's when I get bit. Just safety tips from me as I'm thinking about them. And I don't want any real rough spots left. Now I just want to work this down a little bit. Round this up more. When you're doing these, facets are your best friend. And facets are where I'm leaving these just flat shapes. If you were unaware. And if you were aware, well, yeah. So I'm just gonna keep. Now I don't like the way this is looking. I want to bring this in a little bit more. So I'm just gonna bring it around. Alright. So you can kind of already see the difference between this side and that side with just how there's a better view of just how it looks shape-wise. I'm just going to take a couple more rough edges off the side of his head, or her head. I think I'm going to paint this one up like a blue jay too, or maybe a, I don't know. I do have red in here. Yeah, I might do a cardinal then. We're not painting him in this video, but it'll be similar to how I did the mushrooms, just with birdie features instead of mushroomy features. So alright. And I always like to start at the bottom, so we're gonna start at the bottom here and just make a bunch of cuts around there. Flip this around. And just as you're doing this, be feeling, be looking. You're always looking for that next sharp edge to take off. And I am leaving this beak really sharp. That'll be the last thing that I round off. And yeah. And don't forget, when you are doing this, use your glove. Don't be like me. Only time I don't wear them is if I'm on video, because then you can actually see what I'm doing a little bit easier. Don't worry about trying to keep up as well. That is, I'm nowhere near the fastest carver you'll ever meet, but I'm also not afraid to, try to get stuff knocked out quickly. But when you're learning, don't rush, take your time. Remember, this is supposed to be relaxing, not frantic. Now we're gonna smooth out the back of the tail. Again, I'm just trying to leave as many facets as I can. The pencil line's pretty much gone. I don't like the way this looks or feels, so we're gonna take a couple of cuts to smooth that over. Alright. Ooh, that felt good. I just cracked my back. And this beak is awful sharp, so one of the tricks with that is keep it sharp till the very end, and then just barely take anything off, just enough to dull it up so it's not like uncomfortably sharp. And I'm not liking a few of these other angles, so alright. And there, I want to say, yep, is my bird. I always like when they sit down flat, so I always try to leave that flat spot on the bottom, so when you set it down it'll actually stay where you want it. I am going to take a little bit of sandpaper on the back of the heat here. But I'll do that off camera. So, yeah. Here's our little birdie bird. Like I say, it's still a rough design that I'm working on, but this is how I start things off. So I am learning with the whole carving thing. Don't forget, I've only been doing it about a year. But yeah, actually no, it was a year because I got into it when I was out of work for asthma last summer, and that was a couple weeks ago. But yeah, so here's a little birdie. They are a lot of fun to carve. They're a pain in the rear until you get good at it, but yeah, so with that, I will say cat in the hat, and that be dat.